Hey guys, it's Ravenhawk6910 reporting once again with an unboxing and review video of the brand new Rapido Trains Inc. Canadian Pacific H1a and B 464 Hudson. Now, this one has been anticipated for several years now, and it was announced back in Christmas of, I believe, 2022, I think, and they're finally here. Everyone opted for 2816, obviously, and I, of course, want to have 2816 as well. However, you'll notice I don't have the 2816 version here. This is a standard release model. In fact, it is the Canadian Pacific Unnumbered Beaver Shield version. Now, I opted for this for a couple of reasons. Number one, Rapido was completely sold out, so that was not an option. And also, the special 2816 excursion version was with shipping over $800. So that wasn't an option for me. So I found one of these on eBay, and it only costed me about $500. So that's good. And yes, you'll notice it is DCC ready, DC silent. So this will need a decoder eventually. However, I chose to get the unnumbered version because it was the description of this from Rapido's website was very meager at best. You know, the description was not really much to go on other than it was just a painted unnumbered version. The thumbnail photos for all of them showed Canadian Pacific 2807, which was another H1 Hudson from the run, but it had the beaver scheme, and it also had elephant ears also. So, I wasn't sure if this particular version would come with elephant ears or not, because modeling 2816 for the modern excursion version, obviously it doesn't have the elephant ears anymore. So, according to this photograph right here, there's no elephant ears on there. So we're going to see what happens, but I decided to do an unboxing of this particular model to give you guys who are considering buying this model a look into it to see what the contents are. Because Rapido has previously released models that are unnumbered, and they've given decals with them. Now, I don't know if this is going to come with decals or not. We're going to find out together. So, first of all, cover sleeve on the box is a beautiful photo of the 2811, which is really nice. On the back side, you've got a big description in French and English of what the H1 Hudsons were, as well as the models, as well as some of the features on them. So that's pretty cool. So now, let's go ahead and take the sleeve off. Let me tilt the camera up slightly for you. And we're doing this in real time, so this is not a typical review of mine. So let's go ahead and slide that sleeve off. See what we have underneath. There we go. The box is very similar to the Canadian Pacific D10s that were released recently. So that's pretty cool. Got a nice design of the H1 Hudson there. Okay, so now let's set this down and open it up. See what we've got inside. Here we go. It's always cool opening a train for the very first time. It always feels like Christmas in a way. Let's see if I can get this lid off. It's very tight on there. Held on by pressure. There we go. Okay, so first of all, we've got the manual that is in French and English. We've got some new stickers that they showed off in a video that has the 2816 on one side and the 962 on the other. So that's kind of cool. I actually have the 962, so that's neat. There's also a crossing sticker right here that has Rapido's phone number on it. There is a flyer for Canadian Pacific, the Rapido Canadian Pacific Executive Train models, which includes 2816, the Selkirk Dome car, and the H.B. Bowen sleeping car. So that's pretty neat. We've got the exploded parts diagram. That's good. All right, big reveal. Take the foam off the box, and there it be. So, good to see. Let's go ahead and take the engine out. No elephant ears, so that's definitely a good thing. So there's that. Here is the tender. Set these over here. Over here is the little wrench for quartering the drivers, as well as a driver without traction tires. So that's cool. That appears to be it. So no decals were included with this one, which is a bit of a shame, but that's okay. We'll make it work. So let's go ahead and unbox the locomotive, get it out of the clamshell, and see what we have. All right, let's go ahead and finish unboxing this engine. There's the clamshell sleeve. Nice and solid fit. There we go. Get my arm in the way there, showing my professionalism. Sorry about that. Okay. This should unwrap, in theory. Unless it's got tape on it somewhere. Probably does. Yep, it does have... No, it does not. Okay. So there's the engine. That is really pretty. There's that. And there's the side of it there. It does have the beaver shield, so that is good. Set that off to the side. Move this out of the way. And then we will get the tender next. And here's the tender. Now, it is a coal load tender, as you can see right there. So, it's going to be a little inaccurate. But, you know, that's okay. I'm not that big of a rivet counter. So, there we go. Trying not to block it with my arm this time. Sorry again about that, guys. All right. There we go. There we go. There's the tender. It's very light because it doesn't have any electronics in it. But there's the little diaphragm to connect the engine and the tender together. It's got pretty nice details on it also. So, there you go. Okay, so while I've got the engine here, I'm in the process of putting in this ESU Lock Pilot DCC decoder in it. And I gotta warn you guys, this locomotive is not user-friendly in terms of taking it apart. I've got the manual right here, and it is simple, but you've got to be extremely careful because you could extremely damage this locomotive, and then you'll have to send it into Rapido to fix it. So, what you have to do is unscrew these two screws here on the bottom of the engine. That's right, the electronics are in the engine, not the tender, like I thought. So, there's that. The speakers will go in the tender, obviously, if you do a sound version. At least I think. So, anyways. But yeah, this is complex. And I've never done this with a steam locomotive before, so this is new territory to me. So, give me just a few minutes. I'm going to try to get this done, and we'll go from there. There we go. All right. I'm going to carefully lay this down. And there is the 21-pin dummy plug. Let's see, I'm going to take a flathead screwdriver Just gently pry on that, because I don't want to bend any of the prongs. There we go. Pops right out. And now, I'm going to take my decoder and plug it on in. Perfect. Now, I'm going to carefully put the shell back on. Okay, that took a while, but we do have a lock pilot in the 2816, and just right out of the box, function 0 is your headlight, function 1 is your number board light, function 2 is the class lights on white, function 3 does nothing, function 4 does nothing, function 5 gives you your green marker lights, which I will be keeping on most of the time because I prefer them. Function 7 turns on the cab light, and function 8 turns on the ground lights under the cab. So right out of the gate, you've got a lot of good lighting functions on this locomotive, and that's really cool to see. So all in all, this is a good substitute if you don't want to pay the full price for the actual Excursion 2816 version. Yes, you'll have to make a few compromises, but honestly, I think that's worth it for what you get, and the model is still a smooth runner. Take a look. Of course, it would be a lot smoother if the trailing truck was on. There we go. Let's try that again. Reverse it here this time. There we go. Nice and smooth and easy. Typical Rapido. So there you go, guys. That is the Unnumbered Rapido 2816 H1b Hudson, which will become my 2816. So the only question I have for you guys in the comments is, what decals would you recommend to use to number this thing? I've never used Steam decals before, so let me know what companies you guys recommend, and I will delve into them when I'm ready to number this thing. But for now, we've got a running locomotive, so that's all I need. So yeah, until next time, this is Ravenhawk 6910, signing off.